Hey all, Carl here. Today I'm going to install the MIA Multimedia Bluetooth connector to the Aprilia Tuono 1100 2021. Now I went online a couple of places to take a look and see if I can find a good video. I found one. Victor Moto did a fantastic job, did an installation on Tuono 660. And I kept looking for the install, for him to put up the video, and it wasn't happening. A lot of people were making a request, and he's either editing or was busy. No, nothing towards him. He's a busy guy. So I figured, let me give him a hand. I'll do it. So here's the baby, the 1100 2021. Sorry about the confined space. I don't have a lot of room, so I got to work with what I got. This is the box, and if you can see closely, that's the code for the product. I don't know if it's coming out clear. It's the 607100M. This is the actual piece that's got to get installed in the bike. All you need is a couple of very thin tie wraps and a little screwdriver, and I'm going to explain that in a sec. We got these little cutters, and this is your biggest problem. That's what's going to give you the hardest time. Believe it or not, everything else is very easy. The other thing you're going to need is this little Allen key. This is the key that's actually underneath your seat. It's clipped on under your passenger seat. In my case, I've removed my passenger seat and I've installed a mono seat, so it looks like the RS-V4. Makes it look actually very nice and very aggressive. So you're going to have to remove these two little screws that are on each side with the same key, and the install is actually done on the left side. The one Victor Moto showed was on the right side underneath the panel. We're actually installing on the left side. So I'm going to skip a lot of this just to make the video short. You're basically going to undo these, and I'm going to move to the next step. Right, so the screws are off the seat. We're gonna just pop the seat open. It's very, very easy. Nothing to it. Now we're gonna have to remove this panel, and if you look closely, there is one screw here, one screw here. I'm gonna zoom back out so you can see it. And the other one is tucked in underneath the bike, and it's close to the peg. If you can see over here, the back peg, and just underneath there's a little, and it's very hard to see, I can imagine, but you get the gist of it. So go ahead and just remove these three screws. All right, so now the screws are off. Now you don't want to just grab this and yank it out. It's actually got a little bit of a hook, so you need to pull the piece back a little bit, and then it slides out. And if you take a look, you're going to see what I'm talking about. See, there's these little hooks here. There's one here and one on the back side here. I don't know if you can see it well, hopefully you can. And they clip into this area, and you just slide it back and you take it out. Now that the cover is off, if you just take a look, there's a lot going on down here, but actually, if you look closely, there's a rectangular area here, and that's where your multimedia is going to sit. And if I can move a little bit stuff, and if you look over here, you're going to see one little piece here that looks like you could put a screw on or something, and another one on top in that corner. And that's where your MIA is going to sit. And if you line everything up, you're going to see that these two pieces are going to line up with the two little holes on your multimedia. It connects. And now the next interesting piece is going to be, you're going to have to run your wire. And if you look up here, I've already disconnected this piece, but I'm going to explain why. It's going to connect to this puppy. Now, if you look deep inside, there's a little crevice. Now, this is the part that you're going to have the hardest time with, believe it or not. What happens is that this piece is holding the dummy that's connected to this guy so that it can just protect this end and no water gets into it and doesn't damage your electronics. Now I'm going to show you what that looks like. I know it's a little bit of a tight area, but here they are. So this here is the plastic piece that's kind of clipped. And that's the bottom piece, and it's clipped into there, and then it clips to this guy, and in turn clips to this guy. You're going to remove this and you're not going to use this one. You can put it away for safekeeping, but this you're going to need again. So when you're connecting to the MIA, it secures itself to that and then hooks to this. Removing this piece was the biggest challenge. It was a nightmare. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this easily so you don't have to struggle with it as much as I did. All right, so I'm going to have these pieces next to each other so you can see what I'm talking about. I want to show you this piece first, and the trick is this little guy here. That's the clip that kind of goes up and down, and it allows this white piece to release. And when they're connected to each other, you want to have a very fine and small screwdriver and get in there here in between. I don't know if you can see. You're going to under and you're going to press against this area to push this up, and while you do that, it allows each piece to separate from each other. So when they are connected to each other, they're sliding in, and it's like this, and now it's locked. It's not going to come out. But I've seen people try to go this way and fiddle with it, and when it's connected under the bike, it's extremely tight and it's difficult. But if you get a good visual of how it's put together, what you want to do is you basically want to go in from this end, right, and make sure you put your screwdriver into this hole. I'm really hoping this video is going to come out clear enough for you to see. And you go in to the end and you push this way with your screwdriver to allow that to unhook, and then just bang, it comes right out. It's that easy, but when you don't see it, it's kind of difficult, and you might spend half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm hoping I was able to save that time, and you don't get too frustrated. All right, so here we are. You're looking at this area. These cables are going to be a little bit in your way, but if you look, you see this, and right there, that's where we're going to put this on. And this puppy should sit in this way. You want to be able to read the information face up, not upside down, because the holes will still line up. But your cable is going to be too short to reach to go this way. So you have to install it face up. It just makes sense. The wire is going towards the back of the bike where it should be going. Now, before trying to slide this, it literally goes from underneath here. But there's another screw that's attached over here, and this is keeping this plastic very tight, and it makes it very difficult to pass through. And by the way, you want to pass this through before having this little piece of plastic, before attaching this, because then it's going to be even wider and you're going to have a harder time passing it. So you need to unscrew this little guy here, which is sitting behind your rear peg. And then it allows you to flex this back. See, my finger goes right through it. You can flex this back. It might be a little bit of a challenge at the beginning, but it's tight. So turns out there's very little room to maneuver and get that cable in the back. So I actually had to detach what I had done because this cable is just not long enough. So now that I've detached it, it's actually a lot easier to push this guy through, and I have more room to play. See, it's kind of sticking out. I have more room to do whatever I want, connect these guys, and then I'll push this piece back into place and put everything back together. So now we're going to connect these guys. There's only really one way to do it. As you can see, it's a no-brainer. These have to line up with each other. Again, I have everything loose, so I just want to get them hooked. It's going to click into place. As you can see, it's clipped. I still have it loose on this side, and fortunately the cable that's running through the bike for this end connect, it's kind of long, so you have a little bit of play. I don't even know at this point if I want to connect it to that piece, because even if it sits here and it's a little bit loose, I'm okay with it. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to dangle or make any noise, but I'll leave it up to you. I might actually decide to leave it loose and not have that little white piece connected at the bottom and then hooked in there, because honestly, I'm just lazy. Although it would be proper to do it, I might do it. I don't know yet, but I just wanted you to see this. So now I can come back here and I just have a little bit more maneuverability to put this back in this area and hopefully get everything connected. But you know, it's not as easy as it looks. There you go. See, now I've pushed it this way, and now I can push this unit back here that can sit and go into this housing. You know, again, you got to move all these wires out of the way. So it goes in here, bang, see, now it sits. Last step, as you can see, I've put this puppy back into place. The tie wraps are going right through to the back. They've come around and they're here. They're still loose, and all I got to do is literally just tighten them. There you have it. Same over here at this guy out in the corner. Just, you know, give it a couple of nudges and it tightens, it stays in place. And honestly, it's so tight in here that, you know, these guys, they do the job. This isn't moving. It's solid. You can hit all the bumps you want and this isn't going anywhere. We're gonna cut these guys out and that should be it. As you can see, the wire is gone here underneath the plastic, right? And don't forget, you need to unscrew this little screw which is sitting on top of the backpack to allow you to pull this back, to give you a little bit of more room. It comes up from the top and it sits nicely in this area. And you know what? I decided not to connect it to that little piece in the bottom. Honestly, it's a little too tight, and this too, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just sitting nicely. So if it's not connected, it's not the end of the world. If you have more patience than I do, feel free to put it on. You're a better person than I am. I kind of realized after finishing the video for the install that I never showed you the connection, which is kind of silly. Sorry about that. So I'm going to do that today. Now we're going to turn on the ignition. And if we take a look, it says the personal code. I don't know if this comes out clearly enough or not, but I usually skip that. So we're going to see this that says no phone connected. We're just gonna toggle this right arrow until we get to voice control off. As you can see here, you have an option going up and down. So now we're gonna use the up arrow until we get to, if I can, MIA pairing. Once you get to MIA pairing, you're gonna choose this option and it says phone pairing. We're gonna select it again and then it shows pairing enabled. Then we have to come to our phone, turn on the Bluetooth, and once the Bluetooth goes on, we're gonna wait for it for a few seconds and hopefully this pops up. It's just called the BT router. The BT router is your MIA multimedia. You select that and the pin is very standard. It's basically 0000, so we're gonna put 0000 and pair, and if we look on the screen here, now it says pairing complete, and that should do it. Now your phone is paired with your multimedia, and you know you can access all the functions, whether it's, you know, interphone, voice control. You could reset it and start over if you wish. We've already been through the pairing, and as you toggle through these buttons, you're gonna come through. There you go. Now you can see it shows last phone call, and I can, you know, scroll through it, see who it was, and make phone calls. Now there's no music available because I haven't set this up, and as you can see, I changed my clothes because I realized the day after that I hadn't finished this. My bad. My season has pretty much come to an end now because we're mid-October and it's pretty miserable outside, so I'm not going to get much writing. If anybody's interested and wants to see the multimedia in action, I'll be happy to make a post. Unfortunately, next season, but feel free to leave me a comment, a post, subscribe if you wish. I don't have much going on right now, but slowly I'm going to build up a catalog of stuff to do. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer you. And I'll be sure to post a link to Victor Moto. He's a great guy. There's no affiliation here. I just thought his video was very helpful. And he's done the install on the Tuono 660. So if you guys have the 660, that would be the perfect video to watch. The rest of it is very similar. These things, it's not that complicated, you know. So take a look, enjoy, and hope to see you all soon. And this is how we get it done. Thanks.